All right, we're back. It only took 30 seconds. Actually, even less than that. Should be good now. Yeah, we're good. Just had to lower my bitrate. It makes no... I don't know. I'm not a tech guy, personally. I'm not a tech guy, so I just, like... I don't understand certain things. So.
There is a 301 Rockets Arbok deck. The Pokemon, 4 Team Rockets Ekans, 4 Team Rockets Arbok. That's it.
Yeah, that is sick.
Tied against... Oh, round 5's up.
Welcome back on Twitch. Yeah, welcome back. I adjusted the bit rate, so it shouldn't run into problems. So...
Okay.
Crashing Twitch and YouTube in one day. Yeah, we crashed Twitch, we crashed YouTube, we crashed Limitless, and we're going to go watch some Yamega action as well. I did want to say one thing for anyone who is interested in sleeves. FCBC Armor is running a sale for the next couple of hours. If you're interested in checking them out, they are, you know, my preferred sleeves of choice, and you can use code SMART for 15% off. So if you're interested in getting sleeves, this is the time. You can buy them in bulk as well, so you get a pretty big discount. So if you're interested in buying sleeves from FCBC Armor, they do not do sales very often. So when they do sales, you want to buy some. So make sure to click that link, use code SMART, and get your sleeves at a big discount. As I said, they're not always doing discount codes. You know, this code's only going to last for a couple more hours. So if you want to try some sleeves, this is the time. But anyways, you're exactly right. Let's hop into stream channel number 25 as we get to watch Yamega.
If any players are listening, there are open stream channels, it looks like, unless for some reason the numbers don't go from 1 to 20. But if you are playing and you are, not to force you to be of a position to be doing well, but if you're enjoying your deck in your tournament, you should definitely jump in.
Yeah, 100%. If you're interested in getting streamed, now is the time to do so. Usually once we get through a couple of rounds, we are able to get more of them open. So yeah, 100%. Let me just quickly mute everything up here for them, and we're excited to hop into it here. We have Yamega, probably one of the cooler decks versus what are we playing up against here?
I'm trying to find the pairing right now. I don't think this person is going by their real name on Limitless.
Is Yamega YAMN?
YANM.
NM. Oh, yes. Gotcha. Very, very cool.
Yeah, I guess that's an easier way to do it, is to filter Yanmega on lists. Okay.
Yeah.
3-1. Okay. And we are against Golden Go. Unsurprising to see a lot of Golden Go this tournament because it is the most played deck in the field. So don't get tired of it too much because it is going to be doing well. Do see a pretty good turn 1 from our current Yanmega player, getting down plenty of Pokemon, getting an attach onto the Yanma. Let's see how the opponent's turn goes as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what ends up happening here. Looks like a pretty decent start, you know, getting the Yanmas down. Unfortunately, no Dunsparce for them. That's kind of an issue here. Not able to get the Dunsparce out very quickly, which is a problem because your start is like decent, but there's not a whole lot of follow-up to actually reach what you need next turn. I guess you do have the Air Balloon, but moving this Gigas will be quite difficult, I think. So.
Ooh. At table 12, also in Discord, we do have Eric versus Fabrizio.
Ooh, Eric versus Fabrizio.
Yeah.
How long do I give my op to accept friend requests after checking in? If they don't accept the friend request in the next 2 to 3 minutes, just call a judge.
So unfortunately for our Nova, our player on our close side, this Regigigas is just going to be some dead weight on the board the whole game. No Terra Pokemon in the Golden Go list. So kind of bench locking themselves out of a certain Pokemon. However, this is going to be a crazy A-Spec turn. Hyper Aroma, searching your deck for 3 stage 1s, going to get 2 of those Yanmegas, be able to put them straight into play, and that is going to make for one heck of a way to search for as many energy as you desire.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, are we going to be able to move this Gigas? Right?
No, it does not presently look like it. The air balloon does,
Yeah.
it's not float stone. It does only
Unfortunately.
reduce the retreat cost by 2, meaning that Regigigas would still have 2 retreat left.
It's almost as good. It's close.
Actually, the Regigigas, now that I look at it, is a terrible starter. There's no Latios in this list. There are 2 Jet Energy and a Switch. Air Balloon and Future Booster Capsule, both are not going to do enough to get this Regigigas out of the active, so that may be what the Golden Go player needs to get some time to play and get their board set up.
Yeah, no, exactly. We do see the Buddy Buddy Puffin here coming out from the Golden Go player. Going to be getting some stuff onto the board. Probably more Gimme Goals, you know, getting a Gimme Goal, maybe a Scyther as well. I actually kind of forgot Scyther only had 70 HP. I thought Scyther had more HP, but you can actually get it off Buddy Puffin. It's weird. You can get a Scyther, but not a Shaman off Buddy Puffin, even though Scyther looks way more menacing and large than Shaman. But yeah, anyways, we're going to see that Genesect using that ability, getting themselves a couple Golden Goes. You know, really nice card in this deck here. Let's see. All right.
Does look like the Golden Go player is going to retreat, evolve into some benched Golden Goes.
Yeah, we're going to see some coin bonuses coming out here. Yeah, it's kind of like Jet Energy or Bust, I think, at this point, right? Because you're kind of giving the Golden Go player too much time to set up. And the problem with Yanmega is Yanmega cannot one-shot a Golden Go. Would you see? Oh, Cornerstone. That's one of the spicier cards that is being played in this deck. Was not expecting that.
Yeah, really not a whole lot at all, unfortunately, in this deck that can one-shot a Golden Go. 260 hit points is a weird number, and Golden Go is going to be one-shotting you. There is a Wellspring Ogerpon in this list, but too little too late, as it does appear that most of the Pokemon are already evolved.
Yeah.
Going to see the minor errand running. Get 2 Lightnings into the hand. There is a Levincia, so good to get those into your discard pile early.
Yeah, just want to get those into this card pile early. But I guess the problem is, like, I mean, what do you do here? Like, do you just, like, because you can't one-shot, right, the Golden Go. On top of it, Golden Go is resistant to grass, too. Like, your goal would have been to, like, early amp you very much if you're capable of doing that. But we've kind of gone past that point. Now, we do see the energy attachment here onto the Gigas. We'll, you know, give it a little bit more flexibility. But still, you know, kind of as you said, Air Balloon is not Floatstone. And it's not going to be easily able to still move this. You still need another energy on top of the energy attached and the Air Balloon. Regigigas has some weight problems, and he's going to be pretty difficult to move.
Yeah, and all this time is just going to be more evolutions, more cards in hand. So far, 12 cards in hand. You can pretty easily set up to put Energy Surge Pro and Boss's Orders in your hand at the same time to be able to knock out a Yanmega or the Iron Hands on the bench. This Regigigas is possibly one of the worst things that could have happened for our active player.
Yeah, no, does not look great here. I guess you have the option to, I mean, Scyther does, or no, Scissor doesn't KO, but honestly, at this point, like, it probably feels fine just to Dango KO the Gigas, because, like, what are they going to do? Just poke you, and then you just blow them up? Oh, and there's the Boss's Orders coming out, so we're going to see that Iron Hands fall here. And now as the Yanmega player, what do you even do? Like, you need still multiple energies to power up this Yanmega. Oh. Someone said they were thinking of cutting Reggie this morning. Well, this might be an excuse to cut Reggie's here after this game, right?
Well, I mean, it doesn't help that you're also dead drawing. Like, if you have the Regigigas in play and you have one of your supporters or a way to draw, that's a different story. And there are 3 Arven in this deck to be able to get you your switch. Not a lot of ways to search for, like you do, like Arven gets you your air balloons, but that doesn't help you with the Regigigas situation.
Yeah.
No ways to, oh wait, Hilda can search for the jet, but only one Hilda.
Yeah, just not able, I feel like, to consistently get the board set that they needed to actually do stuff. And I think, one of the nice things about the Mega deck is they can definitely take over games very early, but it seems like this matchup has got to be sketchy. Like, if they're able to get Golden Goes going, it's because what do you max out with Mega 210, right?
Yes.
Okay, on top of resistance. So you're doing 180. And oh, there's a rigid band too. This probably doesn't matter a whole lot in this situation because it's still a 2-shot, right? So I guess just putting it on probably to thin the deck here, just a card you don't necessarily want to draw into off a coin bonus when your opponent uses an Iono. So definitely seems like the safe play here from the Golden Go player. Crane. It looks like Crane's putting himself in a great spot. At this point, you just try not to run out of energies. Like, I've played a decent amount of Goldengo, and when you take these leads, just, okay, how can I conserve my superiors? How can I be the most economical about my resources and, control them enough? And that's, one thing that, at this point, with where the board state's at, Crane just pretty much has to focus on, is just conserving energy, conserving energy, conserving energy. So we'll see if he's able to do that here.
Is able to attack with the Yanmega if they would like to by retreating. You can use the buzzing boost ability on the currently benched Yanmega to put the energy on itself. All of that to be said, though, what are you doing from that point? Because you have not seen a supporter in the past couple turns. You are not taking a one-shot here. This damage is mostly going to the void between resistance and the rigid band.
This is what, 130? Wait, because it's just a 150.
Maybe 140
or 150.
Resistance is 150.
Yeah, 150. Yeah. Poor Yamega. It's such a cool deck. However, maybe a miracle happens and there's not a KO here, but it's so unlikely. I mean, like at this point, they have a 15 card hand. They're down 1 superior max, I think. So
you just can't break this deck.
Yeah, and this is pretty much the thing that we were talking about a couple of rounds ago, is that sometimes Golden Go just reaches these points where you can Iono them, but they're drawing half of their deck, and everything they could draw is good. And now we see the Rocket's Bomb here. This is a card that pairs up really nicely with the Monkey Dory, because if you flip tails, you put damage on yourself to throw back over with that Adrenaline Brain, and if you flip heads, you deal damage to your opponent's active Pokemon, which is great. Sometimes can make it so you need 1 less energy to take a KO.
Yeah, pretty much playing it just because it says discard this card.
Yes.
Which, so pretty neat spot there. Gosh, I just unfortunately cannot imagine the Turo too. Even though the damage is getting, or the rigid band is getting discarded, you don't really care because there is nothing really in your opponent's deck to take a one-shot. There's no like weird Blood Moon and damage modifiers to worry about. I think that this one may be chalked, as the kids say.
As the Gen Zers say, right?
Yeah. Not to fully count this out, but that match that I did bring up to you, Ethan and Fabrizio, it is Golden Go Typhlosion versus
they both 3-1?
Dragapult. Yes, they're both 3-1, and they seem to be pretty not far into their game. And if we did want to jump over there.
Yeah, I'm definitely down to jump over here. So it seems like at this point, there's not a whole lot that the Mega player can do. So we kind of have, pretty much a result already here. So I definitely agree. We can head over to regional champion Fabrizio Inga Silva's playing up against a very consistent player in their own right, Eric Ridgway. So what table is that looking at?
They're at stream 12.
All right, let's hop over to that right now.
Chat, if you're sorry that we are counting our chickens before they hatch, we've played a lot of Pokemon around here. We know when the writing is on the wall, and there are some great matches and great players we would like to show you. So we're going to take this opportunity to check out on another game. Huge board state going on. Looks like the Dragapult player is currently about to take a big turn with a Neo Upper Energy. Fabrizio has already done well in some online tournaments with this Hilda-focused Dragapult deck. The last one that he tweeted played 3 Hildas and 0 Brocks, using Hilda to get your attachments every turn as you need it, and your powerful Stage 1s and Stage 2s, Dracloak and Dragapult. So some really neat stuff going on. On Eric's side, a unique combination of the Golden Go deck and the Typhlosion deck to give you some single prize options, as well as more unique ways to search energies out of your deck.
Yeah, the ultimate consistency card in the Hilda just works absolutely phenomenally in this deck. It just does everything that you want it to do. It searches your deck for, those Drag Cloaks and those Dragapults, which sometimes can be pretty difficult to get out. And on top of it, finds that Neo upper energy, really unlocking the deck. Someone said,
yeah,
thank gosh the gameplay doesn't chop anymore. Yes, that last person stream wasn't necessarily the quickest. Sometimes, people don't have, super expensive computers and stuff. So sometimes the streams can be a little bit choppy at times based off who is, being shown. So
yeah.
fun decks always.
Eric, not the only beach quarter doing well in the tournament so far. Maddox is 3-1 in the tournament as well.
Play Maridon.
I scrolled away. One moment.
Yeah. Shout out to Eric and also Maddox, run the Beach Court podcast. Lovely people, always fun to see at tournaments. They have very infectious personalities. Like they got a lot of energy. They're really cool people. So shout out Beach
Maddox
Court.
is also on this same deck. I wouldn't be surprised to see it be the same list. The Golden Go Typhlosion.
Yeah, they do test together. So no surprise here. But I guess at this point, if you're Eric, what are you possibly doing here? I mean, you have the Genesect to search your deck for a couple Golden Goes, but you have no gimme goals. On top of it as well, you just promoted a Pheasantipity with a Jamming Tower that is currently in play. So you cannot retreat this unless you're able to find a stadium. So this all seems bad here.
That's tough.
I think this might have been a mistake from Eric. I think Eric just completely, because there's no excuse. I think Eric legitimately just forgot. And I think it's just made themselves stuck here because Eric, I think, had KO'd this turn with a Typhlosion. I mean, you have a way to dump, both of these Ethan's Adventures, right? So I'm very surprised to see this play happen, but
this unfortunate timing of us coming in. But if you promote the Quilava and then just Ethan's for the Typhlosion, you are able to put yourself in a better spot to get that knockout. I'm trying to find these lists for us as well. I don't want to fully assume that Maddox is the same as Eric's, even though they are buddies.
Yeah, exactly. Someone just asked, can I make phase 2 with 3 and 2? Yes, you can. You need to go at least 6 wins and 2 losses. Each win counts as 3 points. So 18 points is enough to make it to the second phase of the Smart Series. So if you're 3-2, you're still very much in the tournament.
Yes, and I encourage you to keep playing, especially with so much prizes on the line. Don't want to think that you're out of steam and stop.
Yes, one of the things we had last time was brutal because we had 700 something players and you had to go 7-1-1 to make asymmetrical top cut, but now you can actually lose a couple of rounds and still make it. So back on 3-2.
Yes. And just because we were talking about it, Fabrizio did move off of a list dominated by Hilda, is playing 2 Brock Scouting and 1 Hilda now, with the same energy count. Definitely is very important to get your Pokemon down early with this deck. It also did re-include the Maractus in the list, which has been a card that people are back and forth on as it being a worthy include in Dragapult. It is very capable of stealing games and giving you time, and especially in a air balloon dominated format, having retreat locking options like that is so important.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I just want to mention one thing to Eric here. I think Eric did recognize that he threw in that situation. Promoting the wrong thing, but still, very much alive. If you win your next 3, you're into phase 2, then just go 4-0 and you're into, asymmetrical. So still very, very possible. And yeah, there's still a lot of players who are still in it. Shout out to ATM Shadow for the resub and the 2 months. I appreciate it. Your emotes and for reviewing. Thank you. And yeah, thank you so much as well. To you, Xander, for spending your evening with me. I genuinely appreciate it. It was great to cast with you, and thanks for.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna dip for now.
Sure,
players, if you're watching, I encourage keep it up. I'm definitely gonna be watching on my phone while I hang out with my wife some, kind of like the guy that watches the NFL game.
You got to be the responsible husband.
Yeah. But I'll message you, and depending on how this is going, if I'm not exhausted, I'm having a blast, so I might stay up for this. I work from home tomorrow, so if I'm
easy, right? Yeah, very, very easy. Yeah.
All right. Best of luck, players.
Thank you,
Gabe, I'll see you on the flip side, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You have a great one. But that is not all for us here. We still have plenty of rounds left to watch over. Really, really excited. And yeah, we still got a lot more. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. I wanted to mention one thing as well, right before we get into the next round. If you are interested in buying FCBC Armor sleeves, one of the more popular sleeve brands out there, you can go to fcbcarmor.com and use my code. My code ends in less than 3 hours. You get 15% off. They don't usually do a whole lot of giveaway codes, so this is the time if you're interested in buying sleeves in bulk potentially, or you want to try them out. You can get 15% off on them. And yeah, make sure to go check them out. I appreciate it. Also, shout out to Jinkies Co. as well for sponsoring this tournament. You can go to jinkiesco.com if you're interested in buying Pokemon TCG product. They have quite a few of like Japanese sets and things like that. They got all types of cool product there. But you can use code SMART for 15% off on all stuff on the FCBC Armor website. So if you're interested in cheaper product, I know some people like to buy a bunch of sleeves at once, and if you do like the FCBC Armor sleeves, then this is literally the best time to do it, because they run promo codes maybe once every couple months. So this is the time. So appreciate all the support and stuff. Let's take a look here at the standings, what we got. Yeah, literally not a better time. Yeah, literally not a better time. If you guys are interested in getting sleeves, this is not a better time to do so. Or there is not a better time to do so. Yes. But yep, this is their website here. Very easy. You can just go and purchase sleeves or anything like that. And then when you're checking out, there's a promo code section. You can just put code SMART, and we'll be able to hop into it. But anyways, here, let's take a look at what is cracking here with the tournament. Let's take a look here at what is seeing success. We have a lot of players still alive in this tournament. I mean, there are so many players who are still playing. We see all the way down to table, like past 300. There's still 3-2s alive. Still alive at 3-2, able to put themselves in a potential shot to make it into top cut of the Smart Series 1K tournament. So let's take a look at what is doing well here. We'll just go here, and then we will update the standings here. Nice and easy. We'll go do that. And we'll go over here and take a look at the metagame. So we have Goldango as the most popular deck. 198 Goldango players, 430 wins, 419 losses. 50-50 win rate. Pretty solid for a deck that is really getting a lot of attention right now, and players are, for the first time actually trying it out because it has a lot of hype at the moment. Secondly, we have Raging Bull Ogerpon, 299 wins, 297 losses, a 49.92 win rate. Pretty expected here for Raging Bolt. Grimmsnarl still holding that 55.13 win percentage. We have Dragapult Charizard. Dragapult Charizard, 211 and 201, still doing very respectable right now in this tournament. No surprise to see Dragapult Charizard as one of the top contenders in this event. If you're 6, you have to win out 3. No. If you're you have to win all 4 if you're 6-2. No. 9-3 does not make ASAM. You have to go 10-2. It's the same thing as how TPCI runs tournaments. It's the exact same structure, except ASIM's best of 1 because I'm like, we would be here forever if it was untimed ASIM. So yeah. It would be a lot. So yeah, it is the same system as TPCI. So 8 rounds, 6-2 makes phase 2. However, if you're 6-1, you probably want to play to try and get to 7-1, meaning that you only need to go 3 out of your next 4. So right isn't high enough otherwise. I mean, like, I don't know. I ran the numbers and I put the draw rate at 0.04, and it came up to be where you need to go 10-2 to make ASIM. But yeah, that's what Limitless Calculator says. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, I need to go quickly use the bathroom and get some. No, phase 2's tonight. Everything is tonight. Yeah, everything is tonight. Can we get top 16 pricing going forward, given so much pricing? It's okay. So I will actually answer the reason as to why there's no top 16 prizing. There's only top 8 prizing very shortly. I'm gonna use the bathroom, get some water, and we'll be right back with the next round of the Smart Series. All right, we'll be right back. Yes, the tourney's free. All right, we're back. Yo, thanks so much, Nick. I appreciate it. So, someone asked, can we get top 16 prizing going forward? Give me so much prizing for top 8, only have nothing for losing, and Ace feels kind of bad. So, there's a couple ways to think of this. Like, with, this is not to sound like arrogant, but with only $1,000 in a prize pool, for us to pay 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, it would be like $10, $20 each, which would then eat away another 200-ish for top 8. So I guess it would be like, if we did 20 each, it would be what we're giving out to 8 different players. That's another 160. We could cut 160 from like that, but it would create like kind of an awkward situation. Where I don't know. I guess we could. It also just kind of as a hassle to pay out 16 players. I think if we get to the point where if we get, for example, the next event, if we get to 2,000, let's just say hypothetically, like a $2,000 prize pool, then top 16 makes sense. Or like even 1,500. If we get to 1,500 for the next prize pool, it does admittedly make a lot more sense. No experience. No experience against Zardnor. Lost me around 5. Obviously, huge online tourney. I appreciate it. Sorry, I was just handing a couple things. I was figuring a couple of things. Moxie Card Shop. Congrats on the... Oh, I already read that. What do you think is going to take it? Golden Go. That's just like a hot take, though. Yeah. All right. How many people do you think will make ASIM? Good question. I don't know how many will make ASIM. Hi, man. Good seeing you, bro. How many do you think will make it? I don't think there'll be that many. Can't even calculate. The assumption is there'll be less than 16 10-2s. All right, I face 2 wall decks and the Monkey Frostlass. Do like 15 minutes? Dude, dealing with people who don't play in online tournaments is incredibly frustrating. Because having to explain to them certain things, yes, if your game crashes midway, it is an automatic defeat. It says in the rules. We're gonna have to run yes. We're gonna have to run them on weekends. Yes. We're gonna have to run them on weekends. They'll be ran on weekends in the future, I think. I mean, we might. I truly do not know how to handle 1,500 player tournaments. So please have that understanding. There are 2 options. So there are Monday evenings, which work for a lot of the East Coast, which is where the majority of players are because they get off work. However, weekends are iffy because there's regionals on weekends or internationals or cups and challenges, and it puts people in an awkward spot. Where do you go to a cup or a challenge, or do you play in a 1K? What I plan to do is I'll talk with my staff about looking at doing it on weekends, because maybe we'll get more players. I don't know. So that's one thing to think about. But we could potentially do it because okay, started for me at 8. Well, yeah, I mean anyone a large amount of people in here can make the argument, oh, it started at an inconvenient time. But how I have to look at it is I have to look at it, and this is not to ostracize anyone. This is really, really important. Teaming up with big Pokemon casters would be so cool though. Yeah, I'm friends with some of them. I'll talk to them. I know some of them that would probably do it. I will get in contact with the ones I'm closer with. There's 2 there's actually 3 that I'm pretty chill with. I'll message them. But what I think we're gonna do for the next one is I think run it on Saturday, 9 a.m. PST, which means it starts at noon EST on a Saturday or a Sunday. Probably will be Saturday. We'll probably start at noon EST Saturday, which would be 6 hours earlier than these events for East Coast. And it would it still would mean that Europe would start at 8 p.m. But on a Saturday, I think that's okay for some of them. Sag, I'm just considering it. I don't know. Taxaway, this is bigger for me than any cup and just too much to do after a major, since it's not some random throwaway tournament. I mean, yeah, the events are also free for a reason. It's you shouldn't have any pressure on you. It's not like you spent another thing is it's not like you spent money to play these events, right? times I see, but it has to be done. Yes, I think we are going to we're gonna try it. I think we're gonna try one Saturday one. It would because 12 okay. It would be 11 or 12 a.m. Or not a.m. p.m. It would be 11 or 12 p.m., which would mean that that's 7 or 8 p.m. for UK. So that works for them, and then it obviously works for like US time zones as well. Did I please Mondays? I will have to look at it from the perspective of the majority of players. So there will always be someone who doesn't like the time zone. I could make the time zone that works for almost everyone. There always will be someone who is not happy with it. So I need to figure out the best way to manage it. I think Mondays I prefer NA, no cups, no majors. Well, that's the reason why I put it on Monday. I completely agree with you. All right, let's hop into the next round here. Oh, say mini regional? Yes. All right, let's hop into it here. We have Goldwire, who will be playing Goldango. All right, let's do it here. So Goldwire is on Goldango here. Both these players are 4-1, so both very much alive. What time zone once in a while? Some look at the time zones once in a while. Well, that's the thing. It's like moving them around pleases the most people. So that's why I think like stuck in GMT. It's weird. You can probably change that in settings, Alex. That should be very achievable to fix in settings. Anyways, hopping into it here. Looks like we are seeing Goldango versus the Dragapult Charizard deck with, most importantly, the inclusion of the Chi-Yu. So we're going to see here if Goldango is actually able to deal with this Chi-Yu, because Chi-Yu is oftentimes considered to be a nightmare of a card for this deck. So we're going to see what happens here. All right, we see the Buddy Puffin coming out here, getting a couple of those gimme goals down. On top of it, too, we do see another Buddy Puffin getting that Scyther. So smartly putting this down onto the board early becomes very important, because if you're putting it on the board early, you're saying, okay, yes, you are probably going to attack with a Chi-Yu at some point, but I have my own one prizer to deal with your one prizer on top of it. So it's pretty much it's pretty much goals to try and like get the prize trade back into your favor if you even can. But it doesn't always work if they're just able to gust around the Caesar. Like if they go gust around Caesar, punch with Zard and KO, you can't Caesar again because you can't take another prize card with it because you can just two-shot them. But that prize trade doesn't work. So we do see a good start, though. We do see the multiple energies in hand and very smartly choosing not to put down that Genesect. You don't need to put that Genesect in harm ways here because you can use that Nest Ball. You can Nest Ball here in this situation coming up to be able to get a Genesect and then use the Genesect's ability to be able to search your deck for double Goldango. You also have access to Air Balloon too. So a little bit of a misplay here, I think, by the opponent attaching to the active, I guess. There would have been an well, actually, no, I guess you're minor Aaron running, so it's okay. But you could have attached the energy to the bench and then gone Air Balloon this next turn. But I think getting 2 energy is probably just as good as well. So this also seems fine. What's the FCBC promo code? Yes, hop onto FCBC and just use code SMART. It's 15% off. Go buy some sleeves. Night Owl. Should I pin? Yeah, pin it. All right. We see, yep, here comes the Caesar. So this card is incredibly important in this prize trade because you do not want to attack into Dragapult here, or the Dracolook here with the Golden Go. That is a absolute recipe for disaster because then the Chiyu just one-shots and your prize trade is broken. So now we're in a better situation because we presented a one prizer here. If they Chiyu into this one prizer, the prize trade actually doesn't work because they go down to 5 and then Golden Go goes down to 3, and then it's like a race on odd prize cards, but the Golden Go player has already taken that prize lead and will reach 0 before the opponent. So that's one thing that's really important here. So very smart by Goldwire, understanding what he needs to do in this situation. So now action here back on to Mike. Is Mike able to find that counter catcher? Because if you can find that counter catcher, force up that Golden Go, take that knockout and go on to an even prize trade, you can attempt to hold that even prize trade and take over the game. So this is a really, really important turn in the game because just attacking into the Scizor doesn't fix things. And here we go. Here's the boss's orders here. We're gonna see the boss's orders bringing up that Golden Go here, and we're gonna see that Mega Fire of Envy, 280 damage, taking the knockout here. And now the game completely swings, and now it is the Charizard player and Mike that is putting himself in a favored position. And now this Scizor is going to have to put in some work. They are able to hit enough here because there are just enough Pokemon on the board with abilities. I'm unsure if you really wanted to evolve into Charmeleon there. And the reason is that I guess if you had Rare Candy, you could then just go Rare Candy Charizard, and on top of it too, now Scizor can take a knockout. So it's completely dependent on what was in the hand in the situation. But thanks, Night Owl. And then just pin that. All right, we see the counter catcher here. Oh, we see counter catcher bringing up the Charmander. Now, the Charmeleon. What? Okay, like the goal of this is to tie the prize trade intentionally to block counter catcher. However, you run into a couple of issues here. I don't think this is an amazing play. Evolving to Goldango EX. Yeah, this is a very, I mean, if you're evolving into one, you're evolving into both. So like if there's already 2 liabilities on the board, it doesn't matter, right? This was incorrect. But what's the downside? I mean, you already have a Genesect on the board. There's already liabilities already. Okay, so I do not agree with bossing here. And the reason is that if Mike gets Zard boss's orders, that is effectively a harder combo than just drawing boss and Chiyuing again. So I think this play is incorrect here. Why not Tool Scrapper the Charmeleon and chase the Chiyu? Yeah, there was, I mean, the Tool Scrapper doesn't do anything because they're already one-shotting at this point, right? Oh, actually, wait, no, they're not. I mean, actually, yes, they are. They're already one-shotting Genesect. And it doesn't matter what you one-shot at this point. Oh, there's another boss runner with the game. There's already a liability in Genesect on the board. And, like, Golden Go always has to, like, go into Golden Ghost to ever have a chance anyways. So, like, in this situation here, there always has to be a Golden Go on the board at some point as a liability to actually, like, do that. So there's no reason not to evolve because you have equal liabilities and you always will have to go into a liability no matter what to ever win the game. But in this situation, he should have just 100% KO'd Mike's Chiyu. 100%. Because now all, like, Mike needs is just one more boss. And it puts Mike in just a dominating position here. But potentially, Mike might not be able to get Rare Candy Charizard. That's going to be the difficult thing here. Like, we're going to have to see that come out. But we'll see. I feel like we're throwing on both sides of the board here. I wouldn't say we're I think throwing is like a term like when you like make a egregious misplay. I think they're like making a lot of tiny mistakes. like moderate misplays that are like very, yeah, or just like a deeper understanding on like how to approach prize mapping and looking ahead into the game and understanding what are threats. I think that's a big thing, right? Is understanding what are the threats in Pokemon. So I would have gone Stretcher for Gimme, bench it, search for Dangos, but not evolve. Keep the Scissor as your only threat, but from the Genesect being Chaos is not a value anymore. I mean, it doesn't have to do much about value, like in this situation. Like if Boss Genesect happens, you're always losing anyways. So you always lose to Boss's Orders episode. Because then, you know, the Chi-Yu goes down to 2 prize cards. So and then at that point it's what, 4-2, and the game's just over in that stage. Because then if they attack with Scissor, they go down to 3, and then you just go Zard, and it doesn't matter. Or pull into Zard. There's like so many routes you can take. But anyways, here action here back on to Mike. Or actually no, this is on Goldwire actually. Yeah, so Goldwire is in a pretty sketchy situation here. Like, the one thing that he has going for him is that Mike did miss the attack last turn and chose to not knock out Scissor there with Chi-Yu. So Mike has a lead, I think, still, but it's not super stable. So if, you know, Goldwire is able to use a Boss's Orders, can chase potentially 2, I would say maybe even 3 Pokemon. You kind of have some arguments for all of them. You can chase the Chi-Yu here. But chasing Chi-Yu doesn't do a whole lot because you're already going on to odd prize cards. So in this situation, since you're already going on to odd prize cards, you don't care if they attack with Chi-Yu. In this situation, the best Pokemon to actually knock out is going to be Charmeleon or Dracoloak, because since you're going on to odd prize cards in this situation, if they ever attack with Chi-Yu, Chi-Yu will drag you back onto even prize cards. So if Goldwire in this spot was on odd prizes, you would always take out the Chi-Yu to get back onto even. But if you're ever prize mapping in a way like this, where you are going on to odd prize cards, it's okay to leave the attacker, like to leave the 1 prize attacker. Grass Draw isn't even the end of the world because you can still take the prize lead. Yeah. Is it ever correct to attack with Dengo here and discard all energy so you don't get Iona back? I mean, that's not a bad idea. Sometimes actually Dengo is supposed to do that episode. It simply depends on the situation on whether or not they have eSearch Pro left. But I think this is what they're going to do here. Yeah, going to take this KO here. I don't know if this is like great though, because if you attack with Scizor, oh, Scizor wasn't doing enough. Scizor only does 50. So yeah, I probably agree. I think that if I was Goldwire in this situation, you definitely wanted to make it rain and discard maybe an extra 2 or 3 energies there. But yeah. Did stream die? No, it's here. YouTube's always fine. YouTube's the wave. No, it's here. It dies. I'm telling you, chat. YouTube is the wave. The actual, like, the YouTube, like, the quality of, like, YouTube streams are just so much better, too. Like, that's why Azul gets, like, double the viewers on YouTube as he does on Twitch. Like, Azul will pull, like, 500 on like, Twitch and, like, 11 to 1,200 on YouTube. Is this format going to be Worlds format next month? Yes, this is the Worlds format. Hey, what's up, Zach? We're back. We're back? All right, cool. This came from YouTube. It was dead. Yeah. I need to like contact Twitch support because it makes no sense how my Twitch dies but my YouTube is fine. I think YouTube isn't fine. I think there's just a bigger delay for it to die on YouTube than it does. Twitch quality is so bad, but Twitch chat is always popping. Yeah, Twitch just like in general. I need to like, with one of my editors, I need to go into my settings and like adjust some things. Seconds. It's like a dual streaming issue because it's not an internet issue. That's the thing that like never makes sense to me, is it's not an internet issue. I actually, if anyone's super good with technology and this stuff like that, just send me a DM on Discord and like I will literally pay you to like fix my settings. The chat has nice on Twitch because of the extensions. It is true. And like, yeah, just shoot me a message on Discord. Anyone who knows like really good. I'm actually Funnily enough, I used to work for Streamlabs. Yo, add me on Discord, Smart TCG, and just send me a friend request. Yeah, shoot me a friend request. Not just a me thing. Also dead. Which we're just joking, chill. Yeah. It's not, it makes no sense because I have gigabit internet and a 4090 graphics card, and it's still like, I still have issues. And I don't know if it's because my bitrate is messed up, but we'll see. All right, there's Arvin. Arvin getting out. It's I think it's a dual streaming thing because it's. How does Gripsaw fare in this meta? I feel like the damage output is mid. I would like to help. I mean, you have to get like double Frostlass up. All right, and there is the W for Mike. Mike able to take the win over Golden Go, advancing to 5-1, making them 1 win away from phase number 2. Of the Smart Series. So there's like ways to do it, and I need to figure out the most effective way to do that. So that's what probably will happen. Most likely. But I as I said, I have to figure it out. But we'll see. I'm dead. No, my cam's fine. I wasn't doing anything. Well, so I was boss on the Charmeleon with max bout not to play. Because the max bout's irrelevant at that point. Send you a message, help me with the settings. Here, I'll just send it to you right now. Just shoot me a message. I'll read the settings later today if you like stream full time. If you'd like stream full time for 8 years. It's like not an internet thing. That's the thing that doesn't make sense. It's like it's not an internet thing. It just started happening a couple weeks ago when I started like dual streaming, and like I was dual streaming for like 5, 6, 7 hours at some points, and it would crash at some point. Like I don't know. It's something with my settings. I also don't know if stream like I might just switch to OBS. I don't know if it's a Streamlabs issue. Thank you, Floods. I appreciate it. I will accept your message tonight. Is the link unlimited? I need to change it to the unlimited.